Good morning, good morning. It is 8:05 and I am off to the gym. Okay, it is time. I'm ready. I'm actually excited. I don't exactly know what I'm doing yet, but I know I'm doing I know a few machines I'm gonna do, but I don't know in what order. Okay, well that went well. I did like 15 minutes on like a fast walk on the treadmill, and then I tried one of the other machines for like 5 minutes, but I was like, oh, nope. I was like, I need to build up to that. And then I did the stair machine for like 15 minutes. So pretty good. Definitely got very sweaty, so I took a shower. I will say my inhaler did not really seem to do its job, and I made sure to use it like 10-15 minutes before I started. The treadmill was fine, but it was not doing what it should have done on the other one. So I did 2 inhales of it. Maybe I need to up it to 3, or maybe just use it more than once. I didn't bring it in with me. Anyway, but I also overheard something very, very weird when I was in the bathroom, like showering and all that. So long story short, there was this woman who, I don't know who it was that FaceTimed her or whatever, but there was obviously some sort of like minor emergency going on the other line. There was a baby that was crying, someone who was sick, but I don't think it was like, it might have been like whether they were hungover and so they were sick. What is under that person's car? Hungover and they were sick, or they were like having a seizure or something, because I heard her say like, put her on her side, like do you have any Lysol? There's a child that's crying in the back, like, and I do know it's graduation season, so like I don't know if the person who called her was like her daughter and it was a friend of hers that had like drank too much and now was like hungover and sick and all of that. I have no idea. I just know that it was very, very strange. But then I also heard the woman on like in the thing say too, like, I have 2 other patients I need to see before I can get there. And I was like, okay. I was like, is this what? Like, I was like, it's none of my business, but needless to say, with me being emetophobic, I was like, this is not what I want to be like hearing, but I had to remind myself, and I think I'm fine. I was like, Jordan, you don't know where that person was. They are not here. They are very, very far. So anyway, okay, well, that took a little bit longer than expected, but I ended up sticking around because I was afraid there were going to be some things that they didn't take, which did end up happening. And if I had gone home, I don't know what they would have done with those things. But I ended up picking out 4 books to get, and I still have $25.52 of store credit. So I spent $17.68 of it today, but I didn't actually spend any money. So yeah, very exciting. Love that. And three of the 4 books I got were ones that were on my list of ones that I would like to get. So that's great. Trying to figure out what I want to do, because I had talked about stopping by Mellow Mushroom to get lunch and bring it home with me, but I don't know. So I decided to redeem my birthday reward at Moe's instead, because that was going to expire on Thursday of this week, I think. So yeah, I only technically paid 31 cents because of taxes, but I didn't realize how close it was. I think I'm gonna go inside anyway, but I don't expect it to be ready for a few minutes, at least. So, but I figure I'll go inside and just, you know, wait while I'm there. So, yay. Before I get out of the car, keys are around my neck. Okay, consider me immensely impressed. I quite literally placed that maybe 5 minutes ago. It was there. It was done. When I walked in, they weren't even like placing it there. Like, it had been there. So anyway, now it is time to go home. As I said, I have been out for longer than I originally planned. and I need to respond to emails desperately. Very, very desperately. But that's fine, because I will have plenty of time before I work, and it's good to know that I've got $25 worth of store credit at the store. I just have to share with you this email. So someone applied on Backstage for the table read and happened to mention in their cover letter a little bit that they really loved the short film version of Aces, and they sent me an email and they said, "Hi, I'm Lucia and I'm a queer NB non-union actor. I recently applied for the Aces table read on Backstage, but I just wanted to thank you for this beautiful story and the potential feature film. As I briefly mentioned in my application, the queer short film community on YouTube was a big part of my questioning and coming into my identity in middle school, and I still enjoy it very much. The characters represented within Aces are exactly the characters that would change someone's life, and I'm so excited at the prospect of a feature film version being made. Characters would be able to be far deeper explored, and there's so much more room for specific representation. I think this is such a special film with the potential for an impact far larger than what it has already had, and I would be honored to assist the success of this project in any way possible. Whether or not I'm able to help, I know this film will change lives, and I wish you the best of luck." So I'm working right now. I have a former high school friend of mine who reached out to me and asked if we could do some photos for her. And I said, yeah, absolutely. But we were trying to figure out like what, days to do, whatever. And so she was like, oh, like Fridays are open for me too. Because I had mentioned the 27th, which is a Saturday. And so anyway, I was like, oh, okay, Fridays are good too. Like, that's good to know. Like, here are some of the places that I've shot before. Let me know what you like. So she didn't get back to me for a little while. And then she was like, I was thinking, could we just do them at my parents' house? And I was like, absolutely we can. Totally no problem. But then we hadn't really decided on a date because I was waiting for her to tell me, like, are we doing the 27th? Like, what's happening? She writes me now and she's like, hey, so are we doing the 26th? And I was like, we never talked about the 26th. I was like, we talked about the 27th, and then you said you could do Fridays as well, but we weren't talking about the 26th. Like, I might have a table read on the 26th. Like, I don't know if I can do that. And so she wrote me back and she's like, I'm no longer available the 27th, so the 26th would work best for me. I'm like, well, that's great, but we didn't talk about that. So I'm going to have to let you know if we do, like, why would you? So I finished work, which went well, but now it is time. I'm really hoping I can finish reading the book that I'm reading tonight. I think I can. It's not long at all, and it's actually very, very fast-paced. Anyway, because I'd really like to finish it tonight, and then it'll depend on what pops up next to read. I'm not gonna lie, though, I can feel myself slipping into a little bit of a reading slump, and I really, really don't want to do that. It's usually the way to get yourself out of a reading slump is by reading something that you really enjoy. And, just like I read the first Shatter Me book again, but I really would love to reread Kingdom Keepers. But that's such a long series. That's even longer than the Shatter Me series. And in that one, like, not that I don't enjoy the first book, but that's one of those series that, like, as it goes along, like, it gets even better because the kids get older. So it wouldn't just be like, I'll read the first book and then that's it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe the random number generator will land on a series that I've already read before and I can go, oh my gosh, I'll read that again. I love that. It's about 11. I am heading to bed. I did finish my book, which I'm really happy about. I'm also really glad too because the beginning of the book, like the first 50 pages, and the book was only 287 pages long. The first 50 pages I wasn't liking, which was a bummer because earlier this year I read a whole series by the author that I really enjoyed, but I realized the reason I wasn't liking it was because the author was doing that thing, and thankfully it didn't happen throughout the rest of the book once she kind of got a handle on it. But this mistake gets made a lot in screenplays and in books where the writer will have the characters say the other character's name. So, like, let's say if I was talking to Johnny, right? Johnny, you can't do that. What do you mean, Jordan? I can do whatever I want. I'm just telling you it's a risk. I know it's a risk, Jordan. I don't care. Like, they like say it so many times, and I was noticing that so much on like the first 50 pages. And then fortunately it evened out. So I think the beginning part just could have used a little bit more editing. But anyway, so there are other books in the series, but it's not really ones that I'm going to set out to go find like before I read other books. So I'll just be on the lookout for them. But yes, so thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description. Love you all.